After working for 5 years since graduating, I received a postcard announcing a high school reunion. I realized I had never attended any reunions since graduation. I am Jacob. Since my university was in the Midwest, I decided to work for a consulting firm in the same area. It takes more than 2 hours to fly to my hometown, so I rarely go back to my parents' house. So I never attended any of my junior high or high school reunions. I've just finished work, so this might be a good opportunity. So I decided to attend this time. I work for a consulting firm specializing in hospitality businesses like hotels, inns, bed and breakfasts, and guest houses. My day starts with checking the operational and booking status of the hotels I manage. Analyzing these figures is a critical part of my job. After that, I have a meeting with the owner or manager at the hotel I'm in charge of. It is also an important job to actually go to the hotel and check on the employees and the condition of the hotel's facilities. Then, while having a meeting with the person in charge of the hotel, we come up with new plans and strategies together. Once we have detailed improvements and new plans, etc., I return to the company and create a formal proposal. Once the proposal is completed, I have another meeting at the hotel. My job involves visiting accommodation facilities throughout Japan throughout the year, so perhaps the best way to describe it would be to travel from place to place. July and August are the summer holidays, so accommodations are busy. On the other hand, consulting jobs get busier after summer vacation and into winter vacation. I thought I would be able to attend a class reunion in August and also go home. On the day of the reunion, when I entered the venue, half of the class had already gathered. "Hey, long time no see." Approaching with a beaming smile was Bob. "Oh, long time no see. How have you been?" Bob and I were doubles partners in the table tennis club during high school. As we caught up with each other's recent happenings, a few girls gathered around us. "Hi." Just then, my eyes met with one of the women. "Jacob, it's been a while, hasn't it?" The one who spoke first was Amelia. Actually, she was my high school girlfriend. I went to a university in the Midwest, and Amelia attended a local community college. Eventually, our long-distance relationship didn't last long. We parted somewhat spontaneously. "Oh, long time no see. How have you been?" "Yeah. Did you end up working in the Midwest, Jacob?" "Yes. What about you, Amelia?" After I graduated from community college, I worked for a little over 3 years at a French restaurant in the next town, but my grandmother's health hasn't been great, so now I'm helping at her restaurant. My parents live in a different state due to work and can't come here often, so I'm looking after grandma and the restaurant. "I see. That must be tough. How's your grandma doing?" "She's much better recently." As we talked like this, the guys around started saying, "If Amelia's at the restaurant, maybe we should visit." I might go too, and the conversation got more animated. Then, "Wow, you guys want to go to that rundown restaurant? It's so old it could close down any time," a mean voice said. It was Abby. Abby's parents run a big company around here, and she's always been snobby and looked down on others, a type I've never liked. "Abby, that's not a nice way to talk." As I said this, Abby got even more agitated and continued her insults. "Well, it's true. The place is old and run down, and what if cockroaches come out there? No one would want to eat at such a poor-looking restaurant," she said condescendingly. Then Amelia retorted, "That's horrible. Don't say such irresponsible things." The area went silent for a moment. Abby, possibly drunk, said, "I'll get some drinks," and went to the bar area, poured herself a full glass of wine, and walked back towards us, glaring at Amelia. "Huh?" It seemed Abby wasn't done yet. "She doesn't have to come back." I was about to leave, when I tried to push her back by saying, "Amelia, let's move to the other table." Abby stumbled. "Oh no." I instinctively stepped in front of Amelia. Splash! The wine hit me right in the face. Ach! I stood there, drenched in wine, stunned. Amelia hurriedly offered her handkerchief, saying, "Oh no, Jacob, are you okay?" Abby, obviously drunk, laughed. "Look at Jacob covered in wine. Ha ha ha, that's what you get for getting in my way," and then staggered off towards another table. The girls were like, "What?" Abby just left without apologizing. Typical self-centered behavior. Amidst this, Amelia got a towel from the staff for me. I cleaned the wine off my face and hair in the restroom, and when I came out, Amelia rushed over to me. "Thanks for this. I really appreciate you getting the towel." She then apologized, looking guilty. "Jacob, you shielded me from getting splashed. I'm sorry." No, it's not your fault at all." I smiled, trying to reassure her. "You always worry too much, Amelia, just like old times," I said, and she looked surprised for a moment, then smiled at me with the same kindness she always had. As the party was wrapping up and we were heading to the exit, she caught up with me. "Jacob, my grandma's place is nearby. Your shirt got stained, so why don't you stop by?" "Oh, but I don't want to impose," I said, though I was actually curious about her grandma's restaurant. "It's better to get the stain out quickly." "Well, I'll stop by for a bit." So we headed to her restaurant together. Along the way, she apologized again. "I'm really sorry about this." "It's okay, you've apologized enough." I playfully tapped her on the head and laughed, and she laughed along. "Our shop is called Taylor," she said, pointing to a rather old building. "It looks pretty spacious." "Yeah, there are 6 private rooms for parties on the 2nd floor. It's fairly large." The restaurant was much bigger than I had imagined. When I entered the store, there were no customers and it was empty. Her grandmother is preparing food in the back. "Grandma, this is Jacob, a high school classmate." "Good evening, I'm Jacob. Sorry to bother." "Welcome, you were at the reunion together today." Her grandmother had the elegant and calm demeanor of a traditional woman. "Grandma, Jacob's shirt got stained with wine." "Oh dear, we need to treat that quickly. Jacob, can I take your shirt?" I took off my shirt and handed it to her. "Amelia, remember this too. Mix liquid oxygen bleach with baking soda powder and knead well. Once it turns into a paste, apply it to the stain with a toothbrush and tap it gently, making sure not to scrub. Then, pour a solution of citric acid dissolved in water over the stain. Finally, rinse thoroughly with water and dry it with a hairdryer." She explained as she worked, and quickly removed the stain. It was amazing. Like a professional cleaner. As I stood there amazed, Amelia handed me the dry shirt, saying, "Grandma's amazing." In the end, Abby didn't apologize even once. Amelia frowned. That's typical Abby. Even at this age, some things never change. As we talked about the reunion, her grandmother brought out beer and omelet. I was surprised when I took a bite. It was incredibly delicious. This omelet is so fluffy and incredibly tasty. "Oh, I'm glad you think so. Feel free to eat as much as you want." Then, we were treated to stew and salmon grilled on magnolia leaves. Each dish was an absolute delicacy, flawlessly delicious. And not just tasty, but also elegantly presented. Excuse me for asking, but despite such exquisite dishes, it seems like you don't have many customers. Grandma nodded in agreement, and Amelia said, "You're right. Maybe we should advertise more on social media in this day and age." She then said seriously, "We're really struggling with the business. Even though the cost of vegetables and seafood has skyrocketed, Grandma absolutely refuses to raise prices, and we don't have many customers." "I see, but you don't want to lose this place. If I lived in this town, I'd visit every day or every week. It's that good." They both seemed pleased when I told them this. I was thinking about what I could do for this restaurant. It must be fate that brought me here today. I wanted to help these two people who are having a trouble. That's it. An idea popped into my head. I work in consulting for hotels and inns, like bed and breakfasts and pensions. Maybe I could help with attracting customers to this place. I suggested, and she momentarily looked pleased, but then said, "Oh, but we're not in a position to afford consulting fees." Grandma also looked sad. "Leave that to me. I'll find a sponsor." A sponsor? Yes. Partner with shopping malls or companies for sales or giveaway campaigns, including meal vouchers from this restaurant. Then ask customers who dine here to post on social media or food review sites, and offer them coupons to turn them into repeat customers. What do you think of this idea? I don't fully understand, but it sounds like a great plan. Yes, I think so too. They both brightened up. If this plan works and we double our customer base, I'll come back to talk about a consulting contract. I promised to bring potential sponsors soon and left the restaurant. I immediately picked a few of my company's business partners and proposed the idea. I invited the managers from these partners, along with their families, to dine there. Amelia and her grandmother's cooking pleased everyone. Soon, we got an offer for a partnership from a shopping center affiliated with a hotel chain. They wanted to use meal vouchers from Taylor as prizes for a lottery during a winter sale. We then created a website for the restaurant. I kept the design simple and showed Amelia how to update it. We also set up official social media accounts and posted various menu items. Wow, our dishes look delicious in these photos, Grandma said, peering at the cell phone. Then, travel agencies and hotels in the same prefecture began to offer lunch vouchers for Taylor as an optional service for their guests. A few months later, I was back at Taylor for a meeting. To my surprise, the president of a national hotel chain, Thomas, was there to meet us. "Nice to meet you, I'm Thomas. I actually dined here recently with my sister. The food was even better than the rave reviews online." Grandma smiled as she listened to the president. Amelia thanked him, saying, "Is that so? Thank you very much. However, the aging of the building does concern me. Wouldn't it be nice to remodel it, keeping a classic atmosphere but adding a touch of an inn?" Thomas suggested. Indeed, such a remodel could attract even more customers. But Amelia looked a bit sad. "Yes, that's true. But until recently, we hardly had any customers. Our business is quiet." Thomas then made an offer. "I know. How about this? My company could sponsor your restaurant and provide the remodeling. How does that sound?" "What?" We all exchanged surprised looks. Thomas continued, "Our hotel in the same prefecture would like to offer lunch at your restaurant to our guests. I've brought a remodeling design proposal. Here's the plan." The design he showed was elegant, emphasizing the warmth of wood, fitting for a fine dining establishment. I couldn't help but exclaim, "This is wonderful. It perfectly matches a refined and delicate taste of Taylor's dishes." I then asked for Amelia and her grandmother's opinions. "I think this offer is beneficial for both the restaurant and its future customers. What do you two think?" Amelia answered first. "I can think of a more gracious offer, right, Grandma?" "Yes, but is it really okay to take advantage of such a wonderful offer? I feel a bit guilty," Grandma said, looking at Thomas. Thomas reassured her, "No need to feel guilty at all. This is an investment for our company. I believe that Taylor's lunches will become a highlight of our services. I'm certain this restaurant will be hard to book in 6 months." Encouraged by Thomas's words, Grandma decided to accept the proposal. A year later, Taylor had transformed beyond recognition from its once rundown state into a beautifully renewed establishment. I love the calming atmosphere of this wood decor. Yeah, it's blissful to enjoy such delicious food in this soothing environment. The package deal combining a meal at Taylor with a hotel stay proved to be more popular than anticipated. Many customers returned, and now regulars were increasing, leading the restaurant to adopt a reservation-only system. Naturally, the number of chefs increased, and Grandma's recipes were being passed on to the younger cooks. Grandma, stimulated by the new environment, began coming up with more innovative recipes. Seeing the restaurant's success, the parents of the locally famous Abby, thinking that the restaurant business was profitable, opened a large restaurant next to Taylor. However, it was deserted and closed within a few months. The debt incurred became a burden, and it became well known locally that the once grand mansion of Abby's family was put up for sale. Abby's whereabouts and activities now remain unknown. As for me, I still hadn't mustered the courage to ask Amelia to start over, but I feel the day I'll make my second confession to her is close. I want to continue seeing Amelia and her grandmother's smiles for